Good morning. Welcome to How Fred Does It. This morning we're in the garage. We're going to take a look at my Harbor Freight utility trailer that I've turned into a camping utility trailer, and going to go ahead and do some sealing of the inside floor, which is one of the things that I never did get to. So, well, let's get to it here. You got to forgive me here a little bit. I got a new camera here. I'm trying to learn a little bit about, and it's swiveling around is very slow. But here's the back of the trailer, and I've got three doors on here that operate pretty much the same. It's built on top of a 4x8 Harbor Freight trailer that's probably at least 20 years old. I used to use it for hauling around my John boat. A couple of years ago, I started into a hot tent. Started doing a bunch of hot tenting, so I decided that I needed to just kind of keep everything together, and instead of loading and unloading, and I could throw everything in the trailer and just put her in the garage, and I'd be ready to go whenever I was ready to go. So the doors fold down. The intent originally was that they could be tethered up and used as shelves while I'm out in the camping area. I actually only have one door and one shelf tethered. So on this side, I left the shelf down. And one thing I've learned there is in the future that will be probably changed to some kind of a system where the shelf clips on and the shelf can be taken off and put inside. What's happened over the last couple years, even though I've kept it mostly in the garage, you can see it has warped. So I can probably put a 2x4 or something on the bottom of that and get that warp back out. But for now, that's what it is. It just folds up and then stays clipped on here with a carabiner. And that's how it stays. And then on the side doors just fold down and stay down. As I said, I had intended at some point to put ropes or change on them so they would stay flat. But what I found is trying to get in and out and get stuff in and out of the trailer with those sticking out was more difficult than if they just folded down. And then on the front of the trailer, I've got just a toolbox here. With a couple of the original smaller tires. They're still fine, so they're in there for spare. And I've got a cargo rack, car top cargo rack that's on here. Lawn chairs, table, folding tables, that kind of stuff up in that. That stays up in there all the time. And this back door does have tethers on it. It's actually got two, one on each side. I don't have this one hooked up right now because I'm going to put that down when I start putting the Thompson's water seal on the inside of the bed down here. But right around inside the corner, I've got a light switch just running off a little 12-volt battery down there in the corner. And I can take that in and out. So I guess we got to learn how to lock this damn gimbal camera. Excuse my language there. Lock this camera so that it stays where I'm pointing it instead of trying to follow me, which is how I set it in the original. But there's the just a little battery I can take in and out. I don't leave it in there when it's cold. I bring it inside and keep it warm, charge it up as I need it. But it'll run these two old dome lights that I had. You can see the other door, the green door on the inside there on the left, and it folds down like the one I showed you a second ago. So today we're going to go ahead and climb in here and get this floor resealed with Thompson's water seal. One design issue. So this is all built out of 3/4 plywood and one 2x2s. And some plywood bracing there in the corners. It's pretty solid and not super heavy, but I mean, really, I could sleep in here if I had to. but I haven't tried that yet. But the way these doors are designed in heavy rain or even going down the road in super wet conditions, they do leak. So the door design needs a little work, but for what I'm doing, it's working just fine. I got to reseal the floor, and generally what I do is just lay some towels under the doors, all three doors, and that wicks up any water that does come in, and then we're good to go. So that's the trailer so far, and we'll come back when we're painting. Alrighty. So I've got the trailer up on 4 car stands, just so I can keep it from moving around and leave it a little more stable. These used can and these lids, for whatever reason, on the new cans always seem to glue themselves back on, even if I wipe them off. I don't know, but they're real bare to get off sometimes. And then once you squeeze them, then they're really a problem. There it came off. Alright. So I want this on here fairly good and thick, so I'm just going to kind of pour it on and spread it around. This has got a little bit of a, I don't know, kind of an off pan color. And I don't know, Thompson's water seal isn't just something Dad always used. Always seemed to work fairly well. Something that's outside, you gotta coat it every couple of years if it's in the weather, but something that's kind of protected, it seems to hold up quite well. As you can see from the discoloration in here, this plywood's had some water on it, so we're just going to kind of spread this around, let it soak in best it can, and we'll come back and brush it again after it's set a while. Hopefully it'll soak up. I think over here in the corner I've also had some kerosene leak a little bit that I've used for my lanterns, so I don't know if that'll keep this from soaking in or not, but I'm going to get these 2x2s good too, to just kind of keep any moisture away from them. So we've got a big camping trip coming up here in a couple of weeks. A buddy of mine's coming in from North Carolina. He's been wanting to hot tent for quite some time, so all of the stars finally aligned, and we're going to take 3-4 days and going up to the property and set up the big hot tent and do some cooking and just having a good time catching up. We went to high school together, so a lot of old stories to go back over, and probably listen to some of the old comedians we enjoyed as kids, pull out some of the old Eddie Murphy tapes and CDs. I think I got a couple Richard Pryor ones. Pull them out and take a listen to those. Just have a good time. So the weather's supposed to be in the 30s during the day, and down into the 20s a couple of nights, with the potential of at least one night of a little snow, which will be perfect, because I have yet to really have the hot tent excursion with any snow. Seems like it always bypasses me or doesn't show up, so we'll hope for the best. Let's switch over to the other side here. Nice and warm. So I got it was 27 this morning, so I didn't go for a bike ride. I could have, it was dry enough, I just wimped out. But so I got the big buddy heater running in the garage. I've had it out here for a couple 3 hours now since I brought the trailer in from outside, and I had it covered with tarps up close to the house, so it doesn't fill with water through these doors. So it was pretty dry, nice and dry inside, and fairly dry on the outside. We gotta touch up a few spots of the outside paint while we have it in here. Just painting plywood is always some chance of, especially the plywood ends, they need to be touched up. And I sealed them all with silicone, which I did all the way around the 2x2s on the bottom of these walls as well. They're all sealed up under the 2x2, as well as the seams on the outside. All of the areas except for that shelf that bowed. When I was done assembling it, before I painted it, I coated all of the plywood end, where you can see the layers of the plywood. I kind of put some silicone, rubbed some silicone on those real good before I primed and painted everything. And I take that back, I may have primed it first and then filled anything else in with, actually I think that's what I did. I think I primed it, and then I filled in any gaps with the silicones, kind of helped seal it up, and then painted it. But it's been a couple years. But I got a little carried away here with the Thompson water seal. But like I say, no special reasons I've picked it, other than it's been used by the family for years and been seemed to be pretty reliable. Oh, looks like I might have missed a little spot over there in the corner. I'll go hit that, and then we'll probably shut you down here, because I'm going to have to crawl in and do the next section, and then we'll bring you back at the end. Sure enough, missed a little spot there. Alrighty, so here we are. We got the inside all sealed. It's drying. We'll leave that be for a couple hours and come back and brush some of those spots down that are a little thicker and let it dry again. And we'll show you what we got going on here. We got, I can find it. We got the little buddy heater down here, cranking away, keeping us nice and warm. Actually, it's the big buddy heater, but on a big propane tank, so it'll run quite a long time out here. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to figure out how to operate that. But here's the other side of the trailer with the door closed. So basically what I've got is just a couple of, like a gate clasp or whatever, and then I either put a lock, I put a lock in one side, little padlock on one side, and I put a carabiner in the other one to hold those closed as we're going down the road. So we'll go ahead and open this back up so it can get air through and dry out. But yeah, we'll have to come back and kind of spread those thicker spots out a little bit with the brush as we go along. And I just built these brackets out of 1/8 inch steel here and got them screwed into 2x4 cross members underneath. And these are some old rain gutter style cargo racks that I went ahead and put on here. They're pretty stout. They aren't going anywhere. I don't put a lot of weight up there, but this rack here, I can put my bike on. I've put my Rad Rover or Rad Wagon electric bike up there. That's about, I think with the saddlebags on it, it's pushing 75 pounds. So it's a little work getting her up there and strapped down so it doesn't go anywhere. Regular bikes, no big deal. It goes up there pretty easy, but I don't think I'd even attempt to put my new wired cruiser up there at over 100 pounds. I could take the batteries out. I guess that would knock some weight off, but still, that's a lot to try and put up there and then hope these brackets hold. But this pile here, all of this camping stuff beside the bike there with the generator and tents and bags, not all the way back to the back of the garage, but so this is all the gear that's got to go back in that trailer. So we'll load that up after a day or so of this drying good, and we'll be ready to hit the road.